Great, we're here. The miracle recap. So that was about a week ago that we did that. So I'm really happy that you're here. Wonderful, we can continue. And the energy is going up, going up, going up, going up. It's like, whoa, this is so great. Now what is going to happen? 40 days coming up, miracle recap. Starting a whole new schedule, but it's like that is given from outside. I literally couldn't receive it before today. Now it's suddenly everything is clear, falls into place, and it's like this is how it's going to look. All right, well let's go for it. So that is really something else. Okay, so whether you participate in it or not, that's all perfectly all right, of course. But it's like here's a possibility to go into silence, but also literally like to rejoice in spirit. That was the new ingredient of the 40 days that came, and we'll see how that comes to form, you could say. So today the miracles recap. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will see it in this new schedule. It's like there's an in spirit meditation that we do instead of the Zen tabernacling that we did before. They will be very comparable, but the focus is on rejoicing in spirit, and that's really also something to look forward to. So the miracle recap. Lessons 102 to 108, and 108 is the lesson of today. Now, this is the review of the reviews. So we do that part we do later, but it is like suddenly there's chapter 30 that came into my into my view here, and chapter 40 of A Course in Miracles is in the Urtext is like a new beginning, and that's really lovely. That's how this moment feels to me, a new beginning. And then the part that the truth behind illusions. The truth behind illusions. That is the section that we're going to use this from. And why am I using that? Because, well, the truth behind illusions, and this is what we're dealing with. Like, you want to see truth, you want to experience truth, and apparently it is not in perception, it's not in the things you perceive, it's not what you register with your five senses, but it's beyond that. But how does that actually work then? Now today there's a lot of healing opportunity in that, because literally if you hear what it says, things become clear. Like if you start to hear it, you cannot not hear it. It's more like that. That's why it's like unlimited healing possibilities, because the clarity of what is being given is for you to receive, but suddenly you hear what it says, and it starts to make so much sense that you really want to go further with that, come to a deep acceptance of it. And when you come to a deep acceptance of it, you want to come to a full demonstration of it. Now this we start today with, first let's take a look at the ideas instead of talking about accepting them or demonstrating them. Let's take a look at the ideas. So I have like 5 or 6 expressions of that are from chapter 30e in A Course in Miracles, the Urtext. Give us a push into the matter, so to speak, because it's really revealing. So bear with me. Here it is. Appearances deceive. Now that's nothing new. You say like, well, I know that. But when you say I know that, what does that mean actually? Appearances deceive. Yeah, they do it so well that you think like, yeah, I already know that, and still it's deceiving. Appearances deceive. So this is a full stretch that we're going to take a look at. It's like it's a full stretch looking at the deception of appearances. We know this from the first 15 lessons of A Course in Miracles. It's like nothing I see means anything. I see only the past. I'm never upset for the reason that I think. Like, yeah, I know all these ideas. But here we go to the full extent of that appearances deceive. So this is really, really interesting. It was like so revealing to me to read it and so supportive. But you will understand when I start pulling you into this. Here's one thing, for instance. I didn't put this in the PDF, this came to me later. But it's such a great introduction line. You will attack what does not satisfy, and thus you will not see you made it up. You always fight illusions, for the truth behind them is so lovely and so still in loving gentleness. Were you aware of it, you would forget defensiveness entirely and rush to its embrace. The truth could never be attacked. Oh wow, now if this isn't a great introduction, I don't know what is. I so much love this. Like, you will attack what does not satisfy, right? Can you agree on that? Yeah, you will attack what it's like, well, that's not what I asked for. How many times a day do you say that? Or where is that actually about? So here it says like, and thus you will not see you made it up. You think something else is responsible for your frustration. Well, that doesn't sound unfamiliar either, does it? I mean, no offense, of course. You will always fight illusions. And this is why you even become more angry. Like, if it would make sense what you're doing, fighting illusions, then okay, your anger is justified. But now it's like that doesn't make sense, and you actually know it, and that stirs up the fire of rage in you even more. So welcome back. This is it sounds like a great miracle recap. It's like, yeah, do you need any more practicality? I can stop right here. It's like, do you need any more practical application of this? You probably don't need more. This is already sufficient. Now look at today, or maybe yesterday, or who knows when it happened. Like the moments that you are not getting what you want, while you paid for it, while you asked for it, while you always wanted it, while it was promised to you, while it was this or that. You really wanted that, and now you didn't get it. Now what happens with you? Can you gently overview the situation and say like, well, if I would start a defense, I would just be fighting illusions. Well, see, if that is happening, wonderful. And I say like, well done, you did your lessons. Now in case that doesn't work like that for you, then what I'm going to read further is very, very, very helpful to you to see what you are fighting and what for you are fighting it. You know, it is just so to the point. That's why I couldn't resist using this today. It's like, that's exactly like you put your finger right in the wound in that sense. If there's a wound, of course. Otherwise, it's still delightful to read it and say like, yes, indeed, it's amazing that works like that mechanism. In other words, if you focus on something that was promised you and that you didn't get, and you start to rage, then you literally lost yourself in the situation. And losing yourself in the situation means losing yourself in illusions, because illusions is what you fight. What would you fight in truth? Nothing. Why would you fight peace? No reason. So this is what's happening. So can you experience reality when you are literally obsessed by that which you didn't get. No, of course not. You fully enter into darkness, and from one thing comes the other. It becomes more complicated, more outrageous, more out of control. And this is how many humans spend their day, and being completely justified in it. So with everyone confirming it. So here it is like, no, that's not how this works. This is not how that works. It's like, see what you're doing. What do you expect? From where? Where do you place your expectations? Is that in truth? Sure, absolutely. Like, you will get what you ask for. Is that in a three-dimensional, perception-based existence? Forget it. And this is another way of saying, it's like, wherever you look for justification, you will not find it in this world. There's no justice here. So that's another way of saying that. It's like, there's no justice here. And that pisses you off too. It's like, to say it bluntly, it's like, that really, you don't like that, to say the least. You don't like that. You're looking for it. You're looking for justice and justification. So that's great training. And it's great recovery in that sense. So that's why I wanted to stand still with this, because we can talk about the light and love that we see in the lessons 102 to 108, but this needs to get out of the way before you can experience light. Now, if this is in your face, if you expect something to be given you and you don't get it, and you turn mad, so to speak, you turn angry, you're literally fighting illusions. You lost your connection with truth, and you wonder how you could get lost this way so far, so deeply. So that's really something else. Now I'm sharing more because there's so much about this that is so supportive. So I'll start from the beginning. You will attack what does not satisfy, and thus you will not see you made it up. See, the funny part is that you expect it to satisfy you, your needs or whatever. Like whatever you perceive and whatever you project outward, you want that to satisfy you. Well, it could never happen. And this is where you start to attack it. And you don't see that you did it to yourself, that's for sure. So always you fight illusions, for truth behind them is so lovely. And this is the beautiful part. It's like, well, you let yourself be led by the appearances of the thing that you expected to satisfy you without looking further for. But now here we become quiet, you could say, and you look right through the situation, and suddenly you see the truth behind them is so lovely, and still in loving gentleness. Were you aware of it, you would forget defensiveness entirely and rush to its embrace. The truth could never be attacked. Now here, this is some steps in your maturity, like your spiritual maturity, you could say. Because if you keep bouncing up against the things that don't satisfy you, and you keep raging at it, you're fighting illusions, you're defending yourself, you do everything you can to justify that you're right, that you have a right to be satisfied with it, that it should do that for you. And you forget that you did that to yourself. So it's like here there's an invitation to drop what you think that you perceive. Like, drop that, let that go. That is not it. It will never satisfy. Whatever you think it does, it will never satisfy. Now you think you're going to lose something by letting that go. That's why you hold on. But in truth, You have no idea what you're going to see when you let go of this. But this is really what forgiveness is, truly. Like, how could you see anyone in its full light if you keep defending yourself? If you literally say, like, I want it to look like this, and it doesn't look like that. So, an incredible lesson here. All right, so we skip a few paragraphs and then we come at 4. Reality observes the laws of God and not the rules you set. Yeah, this is why you don't like God either. It's like reality observes the laws of God and not the rules you set. It takes a moment to get over that, but you can do it. It is His laws which guarantee your safety, which is basically the thing you're looking for. All illusions that you believe about yourself obey no laws. They see, oh yeah, this is so interesting. They seem to dance a little while according to the rules you set for them, but then they fall and cannot rise again. They are but toys, my children. Yeah, this is the oil on the fire of rage against the happening of not getting what you want. So it's like this is the oil on the fire. It seems like to work out for a while. It seems like, well, this is going well. This time I'm gonna get what I want. Yes, finally, finally. It's like everything looks very promising. Everything seems to be just in place, and it's too beautiful to even consider. It's wonderful. My hopes are going up that at this time it's gonna work. And everything looks like that. It's so great. I'm so excited about it. And there it goes down, and you don't get what you want. It can literally not happen. It literally has no place to happen. It is completely collapsing even before you started. Or when you started, when you thought you got what you want, when you held it, it is like holding sand. It's like going all the way out, and you have an empty hand. Now what you gonna do? Like, you forget that it has no laws. Your perception, your desire of how you want things have no laws. They have no reality. So it's like, for a moment it can look like now it's going to work, and the next moment it is simply disappearing in your experience of yourself. Now, if you look back, because we're talking practical situations, it's not anything else. It's like, now see how many times you are doing this actually. Like, you have expectations, or you want someone to behave like this, or some situation to come out like that, and be fulfilled like that, and it doesn't work, and you feel frustrated. Like, this is a day-to-day basis idea of what you encounter when you're in the dream, behaving as a human being, expecting normal things to occur as they should, as you think they should, forgetting that there literally are no laws here in perception. There is no law that should happen. So that's really different. But I want to emphasize the practicality of this. This is, you can't ignore that this is a situation. These kinds of situations are literally stirring up all the anger in you whenever it happens. Like, that's a very common thing and good to recognize. So you don't have to spiritualize it, or like God doesn't want it, or what, I don't know what you would say. But this is like, I put my expectations outward. I expect something from this world, and it has to look like that. And I'm enraged now because I don't get what I want. It's so frustrating. And totally forgetting that you literally put it out there. You are the one that placed it there. And now you receive it back, and you don't want it this way. So it's like there's no hope in that. That cannot change. That cannot change. Of course, your focus can change. And that's what it said in the first paragraph that we read. Like, if you really would know what lies behind it, then you would rush into its embrace. You would love to see what is beyond it. Now this you recognize too, for sure. So it's like the moments that you gave up on your ideas about how things should look, you felt actually already a lot better about yourself, and you saw that everything was opening up again in the situations that this occurred, with the ones that you are, in the, like, the relationships in which this takes place. Because we're talking here about relationships, about interactions, about, yeah, your inner world, outer world. So, yeah, that's, Jesus knows what he's talking about. That's so great. Okay. So they dance a little while. Oh yeah, they seem to dance a little while according to the rules you set for them, but then they fall and cannot rise again. They are but toys, my children. Do not grieve for them. Their dancing never brought you joy, but neither were they things to frighten you, nor make you safe if they obeyed your rules. It's like you would still not feel safe anyway, so it didn't work in the first place. They must be neither cherished nor attacked, but merely looked upon as children's toys, without a single meaning of their own. See one in them, and you see them all. See none in them, and they will touch you not. Okay, that's a nice, almost like a koan. See one in them, and you will see them all. It's like it's all the same. There's no exception in that sense. There's no exception. It is how that works. There's no exception to that. See none. See no. And you could say, see no temptation in them, and they will not touch you. The interesting part in is, place none of those expectations or those fulfillments that you're looking for. Place none of them, and you're free of them. But this is the training that we do. Like in the first lessons, what do? It's like, my thoughts do not mean anything. I see only the past. I'm never upset for the reason I think. So my feelings and frustrations, my anger, if I don't justify them with thoughts, with my own convictions, with my own justification, I literally come into a miraculous state of mind. That is why we do these exercises, not for any other reason. When I'm not investing in that, suddenly my mind becomes a miracle mind. Then anything is possible. For instance, truth can be revealed to you. It would otherwise not be seen. If you want a situation to change because it's not how you wanted it, and now it's presenting itself as undesirable, you're caught in the situation. So this is the training. It's a real lesson. It's a real lesson. So you see it in all kinds of situations, in all kinds of relationships, in all kinds of situations that you find yourself in that you expect to be different, or that you feel fully justified that it should be like that and it isn't. Feeling the deepest frustration that it doesn't work that way. So applying the lessons, this is then the second part what we're actually talking about. Like we got familiar with the ideas. Now we're accepting the idea. I accept this idea. Why would I place some expectation outside of myself? I don't have to do that any longer. Because the only thing I place outside myself will come back to me and will only justify my attack. Now, I don't want to attack. I want to be free of attack. Well, then don't place any expectation outside yourself. See, that makes sense. But now it becomes like, well, if you place your intention there, it's going to come back to you, and you will feel encouraged to attack or defend. And when you don't do that, you don't lose your peace over it. Now you're finally open to receive the love of God. It doesn't depend on the situation any longer. So the identification with the situation is gone. Appearances deceive. Oops. Appearances deceive because... appearances deceive because they are appearances. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Appearances deceive because they are appearances and not reality. No, they're appearances. So what do you expect from an appearance? That it is a reality? No. Is it reliable? No. Is it just a snapshot of your reflection of your thoughts? Yes. Is it a fact? No. Dwell not on them in any form. See, this is, like I said, this is like a summary of the first 50 lessons. Dwell not on them in any form. They but obscure reality, and they bring fear because they hide the truth. Do not attack what you have made to let you be deceived, for thus you prove that you have been deceived. Attack has power to make illusions real, yet what it makes is nothing. I love that. That's so wonderful. Like, oh. See, the attack has power to make illusions real. So this is another part that you see in the first 50 lessons. In fact, it's like, well, illusions are strong in their effects, as is the truth. Why is that? Because you share this idea. You make it real in your experience. And that is doing all of it. But what are you making in that? You're making nothing. So will it crumble and fall apart? Yes, of course. Like it has no reality. So it will not comfort you. Now here's the basic thing that you're looking for. What are you looking for? Comfort and safety. If that isn't there, you can never be at peace. So you always look for comfort and safety. Even in your human life, you look for comfort and safety. You do everything to establish that. In all the ways that you do it. But that you have to admit, in a sense. Like, now, if you cannot get that together, if you don't feel safe and you don't feel comfortable at all in yourself, then for sure you are introducing, in fact, illusions into your experience. Now, the basis of illusions is, except for fear, of course, like fear makes situations that are not real. Because what you're doing is you're protecting yourself against the fear, for instance. But that also confirms that the fear is something to be defending yourself against. Confirming its reality, in other words, in your experience of yourself. So what happened? Nothing happened. See, this goes really far in your experience of yourself. Like, you have justified things, you have confirmed things that are not true. You have protected yourself with all your justification to prevent yourself from falling into a deep fear abyss. But in the end, it's like that had no effect because there was nothing to be afraid of. See, this is how, like I said, this is a huge stretch that is being presented in chapter 30. A huge stretch of how appearances deceive, like on an immense scale. Look at the world, for instance. Look at what's going on. How are we defending ourselves? How are we looking at each other? How are we preventing? What are we expecting? What do you expect your president to do tomorrow or today? Or what do you expect? And it doesn't work. It doesn't do what you want it to do. You expected it. You vote for a president. You want him to do what you thought he would do, and now he's not doing it. And you have every right to go into the streets and protest and all this. See, the practicality is like, wow, that's great. Does it feel safe to think like this? Like, no, it's not. It doesn't feel safe at all. So, is there another way of looking at all of this? Yes, that's why we have A Course in Miracles. That's exactly the medicine, you could say, to all the appearances that seem to be so upsetting. So let's see if there's more shared here. Oh yeah, attack has power to make illusions real, yet what it makes is nothing. So it looks real, but it isn't real. God's Son needs no defense against his dreams. God's Son, that's you, needs no defense against his dreams. His idols do not threaten him at all. His idols do not threaten him at all. His one mistake is that he thinks them real. That's all. Just one mistake. You think your idols are real. They don't threaten you. What can the power of illusions do? Appearances can but deceive the mind that wants to be deceived. And you can make a simple choice that will forever place you far beyond deception. Appearances can but deceive the mind that wants to be deceived. You literally ask for it yourself. That's why it's happening. That's why you fall into one uncertainty after the other. That's why you feel encouraged to rage against whatever you perceive. You place it there so that your anger is justified. You place it there so that in fact you want to establish yourself as that. Why would you want to do that? That's just insanity that thinks those things. It's like it's just insanity that thinks those things. And you can make a simple choice that will forever place you far beyond deception. Who could be made fearful by a power that can have no real effects at all? Huh? What could it be but an illusion, making things appear like to itself? Look calmly at its toys and understand that they are idols which but dance to vain desires. Give them not your worship, for they are not there. But this is equally forgotten in attack. So who could be made fearful by a power that can have no real effects at all? What could it be but an illusion, making things appear like to itself? Look calmly at its toys and understand that they are idols which but dance to vain desires. Give them not your worship, for they are not there. But this is equally forgotten in attack. You need not concern yourself with how this will be done. For this you cannot understand. You need not concern yourself with how this will be done. For this you cannot understand. But you will understand that mighty changes have been quickly brought about when you decide one very simple thing. You do not want whatever you believe an idol gives. For thus the Son of God declares that he is free of idols, and thus is he free. So you need not concern yourself with how this will be done. For this you cannot understand. But you will understand that mighty changes have been quickly brought about when you decide one very simple thing. And that's this: you do not want whatever you believe an idol gives. You do not want it, whatever you believe an idol gives. Whatever it looks like, you don't want it. Whenever it's perception based, whenever it looks like something that you might be attracted to or you might want to go for, you do not want it. It's not going to give you what you expect it to give you, no matter how beautiful, shiny and fantastic it looks. Yeah, and it says somewhere, in, I think that's chapter 32, it's like, that's 32. It says somewhere too, why, I made a little video of that. It's like, why another road? Why another person? Why another this? Why another that? Like, why would you start another thing, so to speak, where you place all your expectations on, where you hope everything, that it will give you everything? It's like you really wanted to obey your rules up to the point that you say like, no, I don't want it any other way. I don't want any of it. And this is what we come to. It's like, I don't want any of it. Now here's an important healing and transitioning statement, in fact. It's like, you don't want any of this. This world that you seem to live in has nothing to offer you that you truly want. Like what you place on it is the disappointment, basically. So you can perpetuate your anger and your attack and your defense and your victimization and your this and your that. Like you place value on parts of it. That's why you see it, and that's why you're in it, and that's why you are justified in your, at least that's what you think, like you're justified in your attack. Now here's the simple thing. Like, this is really where it comes down to, and which is so great, in fact. Like, it makes it so simple, but also, in fact, it is the end of the journey. It is like, I don't want any of it. I don't want any of it. I don't want any of it. I'm not, say, entertaining it as something that can really give me something. I don't want any of it. Now, in fact, with that admission, you are set free of the delusion. You are set free of your perpetuating or circulating anger. You're free of everything that you could possibly wish for, but what will never satisfy you. See, all of this dissolves in that you say, like, I don't want any of it. This becomes your demonstration of what we just shared. You accept the idea. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't want anything of this world. No, okay. So now we're gonna come back to the practical application or the demonstration of it in your everyday life. You don't want any of it. how does that work then? Well, if you are daydreaming about a certain outcome, about a certain thing that you want to happen and think will complement your life and make it happy, full, whatever, then stop right there and say like, wait, I don't want any of it. And what happens then is literally that your mind opens up, because you take yourself out of the situation. Suddenly your mind is open to receive what is always there, what always satisfies, what always is in it's like in pure communication. So that's the offering of today. It's really amazing, like amazing. But it's a great lesson in that sense. It's a great lesson. So you cannot work yourself out of this. You just have to admit, like, I don't want any of it. You cannot figure out if there maybe is a way or shortcut to your happiness, even in taking those things. Like, no, there's not. There's not. No, there's nothing there. Literally, it will never satisfy you. Appearances are appearances. They're not reality. Reality makes you happy because happiness is what you are. Joy is what you are. Innocence is what you are. Fulfillment is what you are, is what God is. So you don't find that in your appearances, no matter how hard you try and no matter how much you deny. It's still not going to work. So this is, I thought it was a great resume. Yeah, like give me the word. It's a great summary of the first 50 lessons. Just amazing. So here we go. Now we're light and joy and peace abide in me. I am the home of light and joy and peace. I welcome them into the home I share with God, because I am part of Him. I am as God created me. I will remain forever as I was, created by the changeless like Himself, and I am one with Him and He with me. Light and joy and peace abide in me. I am as God created me.
I am one self, united with my Creator. Serenity and perfect peace are mine. Because I am one self, completely whole, at one with all creation and with God. Salvation comes from my one self. From my one self, whose knowledge still remains within my mind, I see God's perfect plan for my salvation perfectly fulfilled.
Je suis pur esprit. Je suis le Fils de Dieu. Aucun corps ne peut contenir mon pur esprit, ni n'imposer une limite que Dieu n'a pas créée. J'accepterai mon rôle dans le plan de Dieu pour le salut. Quelle peut être ma fonction si ce n'est d'accepter la parole de Dieu qui m'a créé pour que je suis et serai à jamais. Je suis pur esprit. J'accepterai mon rôle dans le plan de Dieu pour le salut.
Salvation is my only function here. My function here is to forgive the world for all the errors I have made. For thus I am released from them and with all the world. My part is essentials to God's plan for salvation. I am essential to the plan of God for salvation of the world, for he gave me his plan that I might save the world. Salvation is my only function here. Part is essential to God's plan for salvation.
God's will for me is perfect happiness. God's will is perfect happiness for me, and I can suffer, but from the belief there is another will apart from his. I share God's will for happiness for me. I share my Father's will for me, his Son. What he has given me is all I want. What he has given me is all there is. God's will for me is perfect happiness. I share God's will for happiness for me.
God being love is also happiness. Let me remember love is happiness, and nothing else brings joy. And so I choose to entertain no substitutes for love. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Love is my heritage, and with it joy. These are the gifts my Father gave to me. I would accept all that is mine in truth. God being love is also happiness. I seek but what belongs to me in truth.
Et la joie de Dieu sont miennes. Aujourd'hui, j'accepterai la paix et la joie de Dieu en joyeux échange contre tous les substituts que j'ai faits au bonheur et à la paix. Que je sois calme et que j'écoute la vérité. Que ma propre petite et faible voix se taise et que j'entende la voix puissante pour la vérité elle-même. M'assurer que je suis le Fils parfait de Dieu. La paix et la joie de Dieu sont miennes. Que je sois calme et que j'écoute la vérité.
All right, thank you so much for joining with me, rejoicing with me, and releasing every expectation that you have of this world. What a delight. I totally love that. It's like, wow, that works 100%. So that's so amazing. Like, drop your expectations, drop your justifications, and drop your expectations from this world. Then everywhere where you go, you don't expect anything, so it can fall into place by itself. You don't need to attack it, you don't need to defend it, and it's actually working really well, and it has nothing to do with the perception whatsoever. But you didn't lose your peace. You saw no reason to attack. You saw no reason to grab your safety and comfort, despite of, in fact, already having the knowledge that it will never work. So that's such a profound lesson. So I'm really happy to have taken a look at it with you. So thank you today for your attention. And I'm going to play a song, but thank you for everything, and see you soon.